just loaded a video on about training in the wind. And that was Thursday, this is Saturday. And I started watching some of the videos, and I noticed that I have this, what I call a vagus nerve problem, when I'm, I'm crunched over, which I shouldn't be, watching videos, doing stuff, and I should be sitting up straight. Anyway, sometimes I could feel palpitations going on. Well, this time, my body is trying to go into Afib. And so when I say that, what's happening is that my heart rate is accelerated, and it's like 130 right now. So I'm doing the various things to try and make that go away. And one of the things is kind of bearing down, and that didn't have any effect. And the other is actually bending all the way down, staying here for a bit, and then coming back up again and letting that reset. And I think that's worked for me before. I'm not sure if I was really going into it, but I'm still in it. So the other thing we're going to try, this other person does, and it works for him. Yeah, obviously it doesn't work for everybody, but what he does is accelerate his heart rate up to or his effort up to a max effort, and then he goes back into sinus. So I don't have that pattern that happens with lub-dub, dub-dub-dub, lub-dub, dub-dub-dub. It's kind of a constant fast pattern. And it may not be, and it may be Afib still. Maybe that's one part of the heart is going fast and not the whole thing, something like that. Not quite sure. So you see that my beats per minute is 132 right now. It's pretty constant, my heart rate. So I am going to accelerate my effort. You can see my RPM, my wattage. So let's give it a shot here. My RPM is really going faster. I'm going like this right now. Well, that's not going down. And right now I'm obviously just spinning easy. Now the other thing I can do, which I want to use as a last resort, well, last resort is going to the doctor, but is taking the calcium channel blockers, because that'll set me down for a good day and a half. I do have my race next week that I'm looking forward to. I think I tried all I can try, so to the calcium channel blocker. Okay, so what I do in these cases, what I've been told, is to take 300 milligrams of flecainide, and I also take one Eliquis pill. Reason being that if the flecainide doesn't work, then I've already started on a blood thinner, and then to the doctor I go. So within an hour or so, this should take hold. Alright, so I have taken the Eliquis pill, and I'm going to hold off on the bit for the calcium channel block for the flecainide. Reason being that my heart rate is slowed down, but the heart rate is not even. It's not my standard Afib heart rate, but I'm just going to lay down and relax a bit and see what happens in the next few minutes. Okay, resting didn't help. It's about 11:39, so 11:39 Saturday morning, 2 pills. Gotta get some water. I've been told within 2 hours I should convert back. Usually I've converted within about an hour. So I'll check back then. When the effect of the flecainide takes hold, then it's as if it just crushes my chest. It slows everything to a crawl. And that's what converts me back into sinus, at least what it has in the past. And hoping that it does that again today. It is now 1 hour since I took the pill. And I haven't felt the effects of that crushing feeling of the pill taking over. My heart's still doing the same thing when I'm laying down and relaxing. So I'm getting bored. So I'm going to go take a shower. If it doesn't convert in an hour, I'm going to have to think of my next move. It's now been 90 minutes since I took my pills. And now I'm starting to get concerned that this is not going to convert back. I have no feeling at all that the calcium channel blocker is taking effect yet. And again, it's with that kind of crushing feeling on my chest. It's pretty evident. I checked my pills to make sure that they were still good and that they are. I think I talked about having to go to Plan B if I don't convert in 2 hours. So that will be probably starting off with contacting an online doctor and ask some questions. Obviously, I'm getting bored waiting for this. So, do some light shoulder work. Okay, one of the things for not killing yourself with weights, but getting a good workout is this, what I'm going to show you with the shoulders right now. Kind of leaning forward, coming up slow, and these are light weights. This is about 10, 12 pounds each. And the thing is, you're working on form, you're going slower so that all the muscles are working, and when you get to the top of each movement, there's a slight delay. That's where the big gains are. Then immediately I go into about 10 of these. So the first one, I was working the middle delts. This is more toward the front delts. Now, the next one is going to be the rear delts. So leaning forward, because you're working again on that muscle back there, come up with the elbows, and then the hands back. It's especially important as we work our back, especially the upper back and the rotator cuff muscles, because those tend not to get worked. This way you're always keeping them engaged. And remember, use it or lose it. I noticed that my breathing is a little elevated because of what I just did here. So typically, that wouldn't bother me. The heart, the way it's pumping, there's less blood flow being pumped out. So that's why I'm breathing a little heavier now. And now I'm back to normal. Okay, it's 118, and when it gets to be 140, that's when Plan B starts. It's been 2 hours since I took those two fleconides. Okay, so this is where Plan B is supposed to start. I was starting to feel that the fleconide was starting to work. I'm going to give it another half hour before I call the online doctor. Okay, it's been 2 hours, 40 minutes since I took those pills. If I'm laying down, the tachycardia is maybe more like 60. I can tell that it's not a good beat. So I'm going to give the online doctor a call. Okay, I am on, I think it's called Live Health, and I'm looking for a doctor now. And I'm looking for one that says, okay, this adult medicine, emergency medicine, family physician. I'm looking for something with heart in it. And if I don't find one with a heart, then I'm going to go for adult medicine or family physician, something like that. Okay, so I'm going with an emergency medicine guy because he looks like he may be a runner. I'm not sure. He's been practicing for like 46 years. You know, it's hard to discuss things with somebody that doesn't have the athletic background that you may have, at least in my case. Because they may be going straight off the books and they don't have that experience, and unless they've dealt with a lot of athletes. And I don't seem to have that choice in here. So I'm kind of going by looks. Again, this guy, hopefully he'll be in athletics somehow. even if just recreationally. And being in emergency medicine, I'm sure he's seen a lot of hard stuff. So, going with that.
Good afternoon.
Hey, David.
Dr. Dave Franco, are you Steve?
Steve, yes, please. I had an AFib attack, I guess. Earlier today, I wasn't taking any meds except for situations like this. I took Eliquis just in case the flecainide, the 300 milligrams of flecainide, didn't work, and so far it's not working. Usually it has in the past. So last time I had an AFib attack was 11 months ago, and 2 years before that, my first AFib attack was at 61. The flecainide I took is still good. Usually when
What dose?
Pardon? 300 milligrams. The AFib would go away, usually anywhere between, close to an hour after I took it. My resting heart rate is about 40.
Any chest pain?
No chest pain. No chest pain.
Any shortness of breath?
No shortness of breath. Should I take some more flecainide?
Okay, let me ask you a few more questions, okay?
Sure.
Okay, do you smoke?
No.
Okay. And is there some reason you didn't reach out to your cardiologist today and talk to him?
Oh, I'm assuming that he's not there because it's a Saturday. Maybe I should do
Wrong
that.
assumption.
Okay, I should give him a call.
Wrong assumption. If he's not available, one of his associates is probably available. Look, the biggest danger with atrial fibrillation, even though you're in great shape, is that when your heart fibrillates, the atrium is doing this. It's quivering.
Right. Yeah.
And while it quivers, the blood can have a tendency to sit there and stagnate, and you can form a small clot, even with taking Eliquis, which isn't 100%. And then when you convert back to a regular rhythm, if there's a clot there, it can get pushed up to your brain, and then you get a stroke.
Gotcha.
And that's the reason that we're nuts about atrial fibrillation.
We are currently on the exchange. If you're having a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911 or go to the nearest emergency room.
Okay.
I'll actually have some check with your cardiologist. We're both here.
Okay.
Continue on the chest 150 milligrams twice a day with your blood thinners. If your fibrillation is persisting greater than 48 hours, usually it should not because it's paroxysmal, then we can always consider a cardioversion. We don't need to rush to a cardioversion because your rate is controlled and you may revert back to normal sinus rhythm.
Hey, sounds good. And either way, I guess I'll give you guys a call Monday morning.
Absolutely.
Okay, updates. It is now 4 o'clock, so it's 4 hours, 20 minutes after I took the pills. I was making this, one of my staples here. This has pretty much everything in it. It's based with white rice and oil and vinegar, and like Dino kale, red kale, purple cabbage, tomatoes, and like 3 or 4 other leafy vegetables in there, various colors. That's part of what my channel is about, is doing what you can to take pressure off your heart so you can keep doing what you want to do for a longer period of time. So all of a sudden I started feeling funny. And it almost felt AFib funny, but it was the drugs finally starting to take hold. And my heart rate got down into a sinus rhythm then. It must have been like 30 to 35 beats. And my regular low heart rate is 40. You know, I get my salad, come here, move around a bit, and the heart rate goes up to like 100, and then so what's happening is that the AFib is fighting the drugs, and that's what typically happens when I do my calcium channel blocker. It's almost like a very slow AFib. So still AFib. So I'm not there yet. All right, so it is now a little over 5 hours since I took those pills, and it looks like the AFib has won. Yeah, still fighting it. So it may be that I'll convert, or maybe I won't and have to take the pill tonight before I go to bed. I was really looking forward to this road race that's happening a week from today. The reason why is that I get to race with my own age group. It's 65 plus. You know, previously I've been racing with 35 plus, 45 plus, 55 plus, those guys are strong, and 60 plus, which is a lot closer. It'd be nice to see where I am specifically against like 65-year-olds. They haven't announced nationals yet for the Masters. It's by 5-year age groups, and so I'll be competing in the 65, 69s as a 66-year-old. Typically what happens after I take the flecainide, like I did, it takes a day or two for it to filter out of my body. And that's why I was hoping, I'd take it and then I'd, convert out, and then spend the rest of today and Sunday and, maybe part of Monday as it all filters out. Then I can go and work out and life will be normal. But it's not the case yet. Not yet. Of course, I want to try and race, but of course it can turn out where, I got to back off. And if you've been watching my videos recently, then you know that I've picked up in my form quite a bit, and I've gotten quite a bit stronger just recently. Yeah, if it goes away, I'll just do it again. At least hope to do it again. We'll see. Okay, it is about 7:40, so that means 8 hours. At about 5 hours, the calcium channel blocker finally kicked in where I could feel it working. It wasn't that crushed feeling that I talked about before, but it was a pressed down feeling. And that's where my beat started to actually solidify it into sinus. So since then, I get up, I get down, still in sinus. I had a palpitation, that I caught. I caught a couple of accelerations for a few seconds, but I think that's normal. And I am tired from that medicine. So tomorrow was going to be a workout day, but it's not going to be a workout day. It's going to take, probably based on past experience, about 2 days before the calcium channel blocker totally filters out, or significantly. I'll feel better tomorrow. I'll definitely feel better Monday. Who knows, I may get on the trainer on Monday, and we'll see how it goes. I'm still aiming for that race on Saturday, but if things turn south between now and Saturday, then I won't. Take it as it comes. So that's my experience with Afib today. Now, for those of you not familiar with my channel, it used to be about an old guy still racing his bicycle. About 5 years ago, it turned into an old guy with Afib still racing his bicycle. So basically, what I aim to do is do everything I can so I can still keep racing my bicycle, still do what I want. Now, there's things that I can't do anymore that I used to do before, like doing double centuries. And when I did double centuries, I didn't just do the double century, I went as fast as I could. The main thing I do is try not to put any pressure on my heart, any undue pressure. So I don't take any caffeine. I get a lot more sleep than I used to before. Before I was burning the candle at both ends, and I think that's a major component as to what led to my first Afib incidents. I eat pretty damn healthy, predominantly plant-based. I'm not vegan. I do a lot of fish. I do a small amount of eggs, but predominantly whole foods and plant-based as much as I can. I'm still racing my bicycle. Times like this when I get Afib, I'm thinking, okay, this could be it. This is it. No more bike racing, but not yet. Hopefully not yet. All right. I hope you got something out of this. Hope you continue to watch my channel. And always remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.